All right, let's just jump right in. We're always hearing about these huge, life-changing sums of money. But what if I told you the first, most critical turning point in your financial life is a number you can actually get your hands on? Today, we're going to talk about why everything, and I mean everything, changes after you save your first $20,000.
You know the drill, right? Almost every financial guru out there points to the $1 million mark. It's the big, shiny goalpost that's supposed to mean you've made it. But are they skipping over a much earlier and, frankly, more important step in the journey? Well, here's the thing. The reality is, there's a much smaller milestone that literally rewires your brain and your entire relationship with money. It's the real fork in the road, the one that separates the people who go on to build real wealth from those who just stay stuck, living paycheck to paycheck.
And that number? It's $20,000. Now I know, it doesn't exactly scream private jet money, right? But crossing this line changes the entire game. Not just mathematically, but psychologically. So let's break down exactly why.
First things first, we have to talk about why getting to this number feels so incredibly hard. Because it is a genuine struggle, and there's a perfect way to think about it. Just imagine trying to push a giant, heavy boulder up a really steep hill. That first shove, just to get it to budge an inch, that's the hardest part, isn't it? Well, everything before 20 grand feels exactly like that. You're fighting against gravity for every single dollar. But that $20,000 mark, that's the moment you finally heave that boulder over the top of the hill. And from there on out, gravity starts working with you, not against you.
See, before you have that cushion, your brain is basically trapped in what psychologists call survival mode. All your mental energy is spent on putting out immediate fires. How am I going to make rent? What if the car breaks down this week? Your brain literally has no extra space, no bandwidth to even think about long-term growth or opportunity.
And this just shows you how huge that shift is. You go from constantly asking, how do I just survive this month, to, okay, how can I make this money grow? You're not reacting out of fear anymore. You're proactively looking for opportunities. It's a complete 180 in your entire way of thinking.
And this isn't just some feel-good theory, it's backed by hard data. Research from Vanguard found that just having $2,000 in savings boosts your sense of financial well-being by 21%. Then, pushing that to a 3 to 6 month buffer, which for a lot of people is right around that $20,000 mark, adds another 13% boost. You're literally buying real, measurable peace of mind.
So once you've managed to free your mind from that constant survival loop, the math of building wealth starts to get really, really exciting. This is where the acceleration truly begins.
Just look at this timeline. Let's say it takes you 19 long months of grinding to save that first 20 grand. Well, because of the magic of compounding, that second 20 grand only takes you 17 months. The third one, even less. Now, let's fast forward. When your portfolio hits around $400,000, that same $20,000 shows up in just 5 months, almost on its own. That is the power of acceleration.
And let me be super clear about this. This isn't happening because you suddenly unlocked some secret investment club for the rich. Nope. You're probably using these same exact tools as before. The only thing that's changed is the scale. And that scale changes absolutely everything.
I mean, think about it like this. A 10% return on $2,000 is $200. That's nice. It's a good dinner out. But it's not changing your life. But that same 10% return on $20,000, that's $2,000. Okay, now we're talking. That's real money that makes a real, tangible difference.
So, when you combine this newly calm mind with math that's finally working in your favor, another profound shift happens. You start to see the world not as a minefield of threats, but as a field of opportunities. We've all been there, right? When you don't have that cushion, every little bump in the road is a potential catastrophe. A surprise car repair isn't just an annoyance, it's a financial emergency that can completely derail your whole month, or even worse.
But with that $20,000 foundation, the whole story flips. That car repair is, well, it's still annoying, let's be honest, but that's all it is, an inconvenience. Your laptop dies? Okay, I guess it's time for an upgrade. You have options. Disasters become decisions.
Now, let's talk about how all this financial stability turns into a kind of secret superpower in the one place you probably spend most of your time, your career.
It all comes down to this concept called walking away money. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the security of knowing that you could leave a bad job tomorrow and be totally fine for months while you look for something better. This completely changes the power dynamic at work because you are no longer operating from a position of desperation. You're operating from strength.
And this kicks off this amazing positive feedback loop. You finally asked for that raise you know you deserve, because the worst they can say is no. Your confidence grows. You start getting better projects. You earn more recognition, which leads to more money, which then makes your financial foundation even stronger. It just keeps feeding itself.
But, and this is a huge but, this is the exact moment where so many people make a critical mistake. They reach this incredible milestone, feel that security, and then immediately do something to undermine it.
And this gets to maybe the most important mindset shift of all. That first $20,000 is not a prize to be spent. It's not a reward for a job well done. It is the seed. It's the bedrock foundation that your entire financial future is built on. Your number one job is to protect it and let it grow.
Just think about the real cost of a so-called reward. That $30,000 car you buy instantly loses a huge chunk of its value. But that same money, if you had invested it instead, could have grown to over $200,000 in 2 decades. I mean, that's a staggering, life-altering difference.
And that right there is the ultimate upgrade to your thinking. You stop asking, can I afford the monthly payment? And you start asking a much, much more powerful question. What is this purchase truly costing my future freedom? Which really leaves us with one final powerful question. When you look at your money and all the hard work it took to earn it, what do you ultimately want it to buy for you? More things or more freedom? Because the choice you make, especially with that first $20,000, is going to define everything that comes next.